obviously, you know, with the fact that it's come up previous, like as in it needs to be addressed. So let me tune in here. So 22 years, that's a long time. And that's a lot of toing and froing. There's a deep connection between the two of you. There's something around committing with him, and I know obviously, you know, you've been on and off for 22 years, so that's a pretty obvious one. But there's something with him coming clean about something. So I feel like there's something that there's a hesitation around him with stepping into something.
Not really him coming clean about anything, but it's a little bit of a situation that we're in.
Okay. All right, let me see. Because I feel like it's like what Spirit is showing me is there's something that hasn't made itself apparent yet. It's kind of like there's you know, obviously there's an issue around, but there's something that hasn't been, how can I put this? It's like there's a hesitation in what is transpiring. So I feel like there's something where you're either waiting on news or there's something around a bit of a shift happening, but it's depending on getting some kind of message. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense. No.
Okay, all right. So,
you know what, though? I'm sorry. I have to disconnect right now, though, because I have like 5 to 6 people here and we're doing a Thanksgiving dinner. So this is kind of bad timing with the phone call. Yeah, well, but we could appreciate you guys picking me and everything for the phone call. Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving, like I said. And
no
thank
worries,
you very much. Okay.
Contact me on my page. Send me a message through, and I'll connect further for you. All right.
I will. All right. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. We'll catch up with her, no doubt. Okay, I've got Angela in Newport, Virginia. Angela, how you going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Really well, thank you. So you're happy Thanksgiving over there as well?
Oh, hey.
Sorry, sometimes it goes in and out a little bit with reception. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. With Friday coming on, I just had a bit of a time to tune in. So I was connecting for you, and it's funny that I picked up for caller number 2, celebrations. And it's like it's a strong time of things coming in for you and things getting in alignment. So I feel like there's more income transpiring at this point in time. Yeah, wow, because it's like I'm shown, there's money coming in, and I feel like I want to say in reference to that, it's coming in and staying in, so it's not coming in and going back out again.
Yes, we were actually living on my daughter's SSI check monthly, and my husband just started working finally after all he's been through. He finally got a job, and it's working out really well.
Fantastic. Yeah, so it's like, because I want to say, like, and around this is like this celebration, and it's like, you know, you're getting what you deserve. So it's like, you know, and obviously, like you're saying, you've worked hard leading up to this, but there's an element of, yay, I'm finally able to have a bit of freedom and make some decisions. So that makes sense that the money's coming in for you, because there's a few options that we're looking into next year with 2019 for the two of you. Does that make sense with movement and with where you're going to settle?
We're not really sure right now. We want to move really, really bad to a better place, because where I live at is not a safe place, and we're not okay here, but we're just making do until something else happens. Yeah, well, I see next year is the movement. So it's a little bit like you're setting yourself up, and there's that element of congratulations with all that you've been through. And I feel like this year for you is letting go of, there was some, I want to go towards like negative influences that have now disappeared for you too. Yes.
Yeah. So
definitely.
that's and it's a congratulations around that, because you had to stand your ground, or they're showing me that you had to call in extra strength for that, but you did it. And now it's like you've had the bumps in the road, and now there's smooth sailing for you guys.
Yes, ma'am. I really hope everything just goes the way I feel like I hope it wants to go.
Yes, yeah. And like I said earlier, this is a great, like it's a really great manifesting day today. So keep writing it down, you know, what it is that you want to bring in, because there is movement for you next year. And now that the money's coming in, it's like I want to say, you know, like a rolling stone gathering moss. That's what it's about for you too. It's like, first of all, the job for your partner. There's something around you with income as well that's going to transpire. And I feel like this is sort of after the end of this year. You know, it's like that something will just fall into place whereby you're able to bring in some money as well. But you're not going to be doing, it's almost like I want to say like residual income, because it's like you'll be creating it without having to go out and do like a job as such.
Right. I got what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like it's for you as well. But the two of you, it's like going from strength to strength. And can I ask, is somebody passed over the last year in relation to the two of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, because I've got someone coming through and I feel like there's
I have goosebumps. Oh, Lord, I got goosebumps.
Yeah. And that's, goosebumps are the best sign. I say to people, that is when spirits step in, and when they really want you to know they're around, those goosebumps come in, and it's like always confirmation. So if someone's talking to you about anything and you get goosebumps, know that that's spirit going, yay, you know, yes.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like now let me just connect with this spirit, because you've got a few in spirit, but yeah, this. So can I ask, is this a male that's stepping in?
If it was this year, no, it's not a male. It was a female.
Okay. Was there something around hair or something with her passing?
Yes. She had a lot of deformities, and it wasn't. Yeah. It's a lot to explain, but I don't think she would have made it outside of my womb. But I feel like you're talking about my daughter.
Yeah. Beautiful, because there's a connection, and it's with this spirit connection, it was like I had to bring in that it was the two of you, so that makes sense being a daughter, because it's like it's part of both of you together. The reason that this energy stepped in is to almost, I want to say, like has become your guide, and you know, like your angel in spirit that's guiding you onto the next big thing. And there's also something around protection around you too. So I feel like I want to say to you, there's extra safety in, you know, your spiritual team around that is showing me that you are protected, and they will also guide you out of this into where you need to be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think about her all the time, and I feel so guilty for having to end my pregnancy with her, because I prayed for her. I prayed for her so much, and then it just was taken away from me.
Yeah. I understand that. Coming from the spirit perspective, once they pass over, like they understand. So that the last thing they want is us to feel guilty. And the way that spirit shows me is that prior to coming into our incarnation, our life is often decided. So when you look at things like that, she was never meant to come through, if that makes sense.
Right, I got what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like she wasn't meant to, but she's meant to be your guide around you now.
Right, okay.
Okay, right, so she's, you know, and I feel like, because I want to go to, there's something around of a nighttime you feel her or she comes around, and there's also something around lights flickering. So I feel like I want to go to, you know, if you're just sitting there and you look and go, oh, the lights are flickering, because I just had the light flicker here, and I'm like, okay. That's spirit.
No, you know what I think that is? I don't know if it's maybe her or my mother, but my mom used to tell me before she passed away, she used to tell me, I'm I'm going to come back and I'm going to mess with you and I'm going to flicker the light and you're going to know it's me.
There you go. Maybe the two of them together. Because your mum loves children. It's very much a family affair with her, yeah?
Yes, she loves kids. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. She's up there, queen of the kids.
Yeah.
And what's the thing with your mum? All right, okay, let's get. She is funny. She's telling me that you don't do things. What is it in regards to Thanksgiving that she would do, but you haven't continued on with the tradition? Or there's something she's given me a nudge to nudge you and go, she's not doing it, and it was something she normally did.
I'm not doing Thanksgiving this year, and I'm not doing it because my husband has put in these beliefs that, you know, religious beliefs with God and such, and so we're just not doing it this year.
Okay, well, she's laughing, giving you a nudge to say, you know, obviously, was that an important time for her? Because it's like, but she's laughing. So you do understand, you know, they get it. But she's giving me the nudge saying she's not doing it. That's funny.
Yes.
And I also want to reference a ring. So where does the ring fit in with Mum?
The what?
A ring with your mum? Have you got your mum's ring? Because she's showing me a ring.
No. I did have her wedding ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have her wedding ring. And I feel bad, but I ended up having to sell it to pay one of my bills in one of my last apartments that I had. And I feel bad every day that I had to do that.
Well, no, don't. She's not. She's laughing. She's just saying, like, obviously her thing is, talk about the ring, talk about the Thanksgiving, the two things you're not doing, and stir you up around that. But there's an element where when things turn around, she wants you to go and pick a ring that is in her honour. So she's not fussed on it having to be her ring, because I feel like that's part of who she was anyway. She's not one that, you know, just because it's mine, you have to stick with that. So it's like her message is, go out when you get financial, which will be next year. Then you go out and buy a special ring and make it in her honour, but it's going to be your taste. Because I feel like she's acknowledging that you would honour what she had, but her taste was way different to your taste.
Right. Yes.
And I know when there's a generation different, that isn't uncommon, but she's showing me, no, there's way different in taste. So I feel like if she was, you know, into fine things and very petite things, you're more into chunkier things, you know, and it's like just total opposites. But she's laughing as she says that.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you know that she's around and guiding you, and she also has your daughter. There's okay, because she's referring to something around did you name your daughter?
Yes.
Something around the name, yeah. So was that name handed down, or where did the name come from?
I don't know. I just kind of made it up.
Okay, all right. Because she's referring to that, something she's saying about the name. Maybe the fact that she liked the name.
Oh, wow. I named her Josiah.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And did it come to you in a dream?
Who, my mom or my baby?
Your baby, like as in even the name. I feel like there's something. Did you wake up and have, you know, like you'd been given that name or something? It was like you were shown that name.
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I'm really not sure.
That'll be interesting because I feel like your mum's like coming through with that one. She's also saying there's your grandfather up there with her. So I feel like I want to go to her father.
Her dad.
Yeah. And you had a special connection with him as well?
I don't know him, and I never met him. But from what I heard, he was a mean man. So I'm not too sure about anything about him.
Okay, that's interesting because it's like she's going, he's up there with her. Now, what else am I going to? There's something else I need to share with you as well. Okay, it's something, now that the money's coming in, I want you to take time out to have a bit of fun for you.
Okay.
It's like it's really important. And where, I know you're saying about you've lost one child. Are there other children around you? Because I'm feeling like there's more children.
I have 2 kids that are living, and just found out that I'm pregnant again.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. Because I'm like, this is, your mum's like, there's children. It's like, okay, we've got 2 that are already there and then 1 on its way. Wow.
Yes, and I also have a baby I lost last September. I was about 8 weeks pregnant with that baby. So she'd be about a year old today.
Oh, wow. Wow. But this one's good and you're having no dramas with this one. Can I also say, or is there something that is different around this pregnancy? I want to say your mum's saying, have you been not well or something has been a little bit different to in the past?
Other than being really tired.
Yeah. I feel like there's something you've gone off eating, or it's just your mum saying there's something different. And I wanted to head towards, almost like you've say if you used to eat meat, you can't stomach the smell of it now. There's something you've changed that it's almost like it's letting you know that all is well and the baby is strongly implanted there, I want to say. This is your mum coming through, which is funny.
I'm not really sure. I want to think. Maybe it might be the broccoli or it might be cheese.
Yeah, it's just like it's something
I haven't really took notice of it, to be honest with you.
I feel like she's laughing about that, or there's something around that. And you've got a good connection with this baby, so it's like you're feeling quite cool about it because you know that there's this one is coming in strong.
Yeah, I'm other than feeling really, really stressed about it because of everything that happened with my last daughter, I feel all I can do, like I just feel so stressed, like something is going to be wrong.
Yeah, so I want you to say, like, I want you to know mum's coming through and going, don't worry about it. She's got this one. She's taking care of it. So
that's good. I had my ultrasound on Monday, and so far everything's looking good, but
it is.
So
I don't see it. Yeah, of course, and that's so understandable that you would be, you'd be feeling anxious, and almost until you probably get to see this baby, you'd be like, oh, there's that. There would have to be that element of worry, which is understandable. But your mum's here saying this one's fine. So, and I feel like I want to say this one, there's a special spiritual connection with this child, so that there's an element of them being quite psychic and in tune. You've got one of the other ones that you have there already is as well, so like a little bit sensitive and almost like, how can I put it, you just have to be aware of them being sensitive. So sometimes they don't take well to people yelling around them or too much stress around them, if that makes sense.
Oh, my God, my youngest daughter, she's very sensitive. Like when you yell at her or, she's 2 years old. So she gets in trouble. You're like, no, Maya. She's very, very, very sensitive person.
Yeah. So it's good to be aware of that because it makes it like when you have that understanding, the yelling doesn't always work for them. So you have to sort of go about it a different way. But this baby will be the same. So it's like you're breeding these sensitives for a reason, and that is because they're beautiful empaths. Okay?
Yes. You can have the saddest face on you, and it will turn her whole mood around. Or if she can feel that you're upset, like she will get upset and start stressing herself. You can just see it in her. For her to only be 2 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing. Okay, I must wrap it up. Dave's there giving me the heads up. I have to go. Thank you so much, Angela, for connecting, and it's been an honour.
Thanks for joining. This is Anna Olson with Insights into Consciousness, tonight on A1R Radio. You can reach me at AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. You can also look at my bio on AskOneRadio.com. It's number one, AskOneRadio.com. And you can go on AskOneRadio.com to see where you can get a free reading by calling in at the on the number on the screen if you kind of look around in there. So tonight I wanted to go over the cards that are used during readings and how we do that and why. So this is a really hot topic for a lot of people because many people have been taught for a long time that tarot or oracle cards, angel cards, fairy cards. There's a lot of different types of cards that people use for readings. And there's a lot of myths that I'd like to dispel about these cards. I also had been brought up to believe that these were probably something you shouldn't delve into. And now that I have used them for quite some time, I realize that it can be true. And that has to do with the person's thoughts. So we'll go into that a little bit more. But first I wanted to just go over what the tarot deck is. And a lot of people call them tarot. The correct pronunciation is tarot. First I want to put a little bit of history into what the tarot cards are. It's a 78 card tarot deck, and it's used by people. It has two distinct parts. The minor arcana, which is the lesser secrets. It consists of 56 cards. They're divided into four suits of 14 cards each, with 10 numbered cards and 4 court cards. So the court cards are the king, the queen, the knight, the page, jack, in each of the 4 tarot suits. So the earliest known tarot decks weren't designed with mysticism in mind. They were actually meant for playing a game similar to modern day bridge. And by the mid-18th century, the mystical applications for the cards had spread from Italy to other parts of Europe. So it's basically something that people were sitting in, after work or whatever. They'd go to, people's houses or, a restaurant or something, and they'd be like playing their bridge. It's a game similar to bridge. And what I think are some of these insightful, spiritual, intuitive people came in and they started just sitting down and saying, hey, while I'm playing with cards, I'm kind of seeing in this card that this is happening for you. And that was a more socially acceptable way of communicating their intuition and their psychic abilities without saying they were getting it from somewhere else. So I feel that this was more of a social reason why. And this is just an interpretation, which is what mediums do. Psychics and mediums do. They're interpreters. So I believe that these games were a means to just turn these cards, which had symbols on them, into meanings or messages through symbols. And if you look back into scriptures such as the Bible or even old Egyptian artifacts, or you're looking at even some codes that they found in space, for instance, there's a lot of symbols used for representing intelligence. And the main topic of tarot, or even when I do a medium reading, is the symbols are something that can be interpreted for the use of man. Because some things are beyond our intelligence and some things are beyond our understanding. So to get the message of a higher intelligence through somebody who does not have even sometimes the mental, even the IQ to correspond with or to process that kind of intelligence, is the symbols are used. Symbols are used throughout history, even through religion, to teach people spiritual practices such as Catholicism. When the Christians and the Catholics came in and were teaching the natives or the Native Americans or whatnot, the way that they taught them were through pictures, through symbols, because they didn't have the same language. So they couldn't, teach them to sit down and read the Bible as quickly as they could just use symbols, pictures to depict the story of Christ and the disciples and Mary and God. So This is very similar to that. This is a symbolism that is based on the frequency, the intention, and the teachability of the person who is not just reading the cards, but the person who is receiving the message. So there are times that I have connected to the highest and greater good, and I've meditated and grounded before reading, and I have still needed to tell the person they're blocked because they are not on the highest and greater good frequency that I require to perform a reading. And this is just basically the same idea as if you're trying to get AM or FM through an antenna or a ham radio, or you have to be on the right frequency to receive the right message. And when you're operating at the highest and greater good and from love, from the heart chakra, it is a nice high vibration, and it's clean. It's very peaceful. Some people would call this the spirit. The Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, there's different things people call it. Some people call it spirit. I just like to call it spirit because most people understand that. They understand that, oh yeah, sometimes I get this message from spirit, which feels like spirit. So I have an Italian art. These originally, actually, tarot was brought through Italy to become more of a mystic tool for spiritual practices. So I have this absolutely beautiful set here, and this is the Botticelli Tarot, which is a bunch of beautiful Italian art. And I really admire this deck because it works for men, it works for women, it has the masculine and the feminine, and it has these really beautiful metallic gold designs in them, which I feel reflects money and abundance. So not just money, but abundance of all kinds, meaning abundance of happiness, of all the things that we want, abundance in many forms, love, relationships, career, happiness. So this is a deck that I work with often. And the 3 cards I got this morning were strength. And this depicts the woman with the lion, and she's taming the lion. She's in a beautiful setting, and it's basically a woman who's tamed the lion. She has immense strength, and that represented my past with some issues that I had been dealing with that I really needed to use strength to overcome. So because it was inverted when I pulled this card, the way that I read that was that this taming the lion and this strength, those trials and those really difficult situations are in the past, because it was also in the past place card area. So there's past, present, and future. So the present, I got Queen of Wands. This is Queen of Wands, which can represent many different things. If you look in the guide, it will say one thing. If you look in the many books that tell you what each card means, it's wonderful to study and learn about. But I got from this that it had to do, I had another card over this one, and long story short, it was telling me that I am pretty established in career and things like that and what I'm going to do, and I've figured out, which path to take, which is true. And then for future, I got temperance, so I felt that I would have temperance in my situation in the future. So that's just a real quick 3-card draw, past, present, future, and some of the symbolism that can happen with the tarot deck. Usually when I sit down, people, everybody does it a little differently, but when I get my deck, I sit down and I will just use, a little bit of a shuffle my cards, and I will cut the deck. And I use, left hand, right hand. It does have significance. We have the left side feminine. We have the right side masculine of our bodies. It all ties into not just energy, but energy fields in the body. I incorporate Reiki. I incorporate protection, shields, even Chinese medicine and Chinese healing practices into it. So, and Buddhist practices, Christian practices. I have just about a little of everything in my readings. So that's just a little bit of history on the tarot. It is just symbolism that we've always had. And we get messages from each card. When we look at the picture, it can mean a million different things for different people. So you look at the picture, you meditate on it, and you just get the message from spirit through the symbolism. And then you show the person the card and you teach them what you're getting. You teach them about it, about their situation in their life, why it's coming up, and you go over it. So we use the symbolism as a means of teaching and of getting a message in a picture, because when I do a reading, the experience of getting these messages is so experiential that I need to feel it, see it, sometimes even hear it. And most of the time I can see it in my mind's eye exactly what's happening. So these cards will help me to get the story, even though the cards aren't, I don't know if I really, really believe that you pull the exact card at the right time. I mean, I've done that many times, and I kind of wondered if I was just getting the right message from the symbolism in it. But I do believe in angels, and I believe that angels will also, or guides will help you to guide you to the right card to pull as well. So, and they know what's through all of them because they can see through them. The angels can see through cards, and so can spirits. They can see multidimensionally, unlike us. So, that's the basics of the tarot. I'd love to just pick a few cards and say what I'm getting from them and for this show. And then I'd love to hear from people who are viewing. You can comment underneath the video. You can email me at AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com and just go under contact me and email me. You just let me know what you get from these cards. So the first one is going to be the Five of Pentacles, and this is the one that I already had before. This is basically, it looks like a beggar, and there's money falling all around this man. It's the Five of Pentacles. I'm getting that this is the economy around the world. This is a lot of people's money situation right now, that even though they have a good flow of money in their bank account, that there has been an issue with the economy and being able to keep the money in the bank with all the expenses, and cost is going up. Even though money can be coming in, with a lot of households, it's hard to keep it in the bank because of the prices that are going up. So people are having to work even harder. Even though they're making more money, they have to work harder. So that's what I'm getting from that. And I'm also getting that the high rate of divorce, separation, and relationship issues among marriages, among people, families, is really affecting this. That when you have to support two households, it can really, really weigh on the finances, and that this is a reason to really work on relationship skills. And this is a reason that we should really put down our phones during the day, get off of social media, quit having online affairs, quit talking to people that you're not supposed to talk to, quit doing stupid stuff that can basically pull apart your family and things like that. That's all the stuff that's coming from this card for a majority of people. And not to judge anybody, but just that those are the things that are just really affecting not just economy, but families, what people can afford, the housing market. It has a domino effect. It does have the butterfly and domino effect over the higher consciousness. And so when I get a card like this, the first thing I want to do is raise the consciousness. So if I wanted to raise the consciousness for this and correct it, I would invite the highest and greater good, the divine light, through my crown chakra, through the top of the head, comes out through my heart chakra, and I imagine and visualize that healing message and love, so that people feel secure and they feel safe in talking to their partner or their spouse. And I have that spread over a very large geographical area, all over the United States, all over Canada, all over the world. And I imagine it going around. And if you don't think that you're that powerful as one person, think again. Try it. Try it when you're on a train. Try it when you're in a restaurant. You emanate divine positive energy through the crown chakra out of your heart chakra. You ground it through your feet into the heart of the earth, into the earth's core, comes back up through the divine, and you imagine what you want to happen. You can you can basically really affect a whole lot of people that way. So that's this card here. Now, I'd love to do a reading on Isabel in Portugal. I'm really excited to have somebody from Portugal do a reading on today. Isabel?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm just fine.
Okay.
So you have, you'd like to do a reading today?
Yes, please.
And what is the topic or the subject, or would you just like a basic reading?
Well, actually, I am waiting for my boyfriend to come over. Mainly, I'm waiting for him to come over up until the end of the year. And so I would like to ask if this will be like this.
If it'll be like this, meaning?
Yeah, so meaning I am in Portugal, he's in another country, and we are doing plans for this to happen. Mm-hmm. And I would like to know if it will be okay.
Okay, so he's supposed to,
without problems, without delays, without intermissions. If he's going to have all the conditions he wants to come. So if he will be.
Is this in the military, or is this him with a job, or what is this reason that he's not with you?
Actually, it's because we are from different countries, and he's working there, I'm working here. Yeah.
Okay.
A few things going on, but still it's joining together to talk about what is going on and then see how to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
to understand if we are going to be here, if I'm going to be there, if we're going to go both to some other place, like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's about the meeting.
Well, I do see that there needs to be a clear communication with him on what the expectations of your relationship are, because I feel like you are a little more committed to this than his understanding or how committed he really is. So I feel like there needs to be a good communication put in place between the two of you, where you really set in stone what your expectations are and what you're ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And I am using the tarot tonight, and I've got the moon for you. It's La Luna, and it is, I'm just going to hold it up for the video for the viewers. It's basically a woman who is living by the moon, and she looks like she's kind of in touch with her shadow self. She's high above with angel wings, and she's living with the moon, and she has this view of a city that she's rising above it. And she has the stars in her hair, and she's this really wonderful, angelic woman. And I feel like this depicts you, that you have this good heart about you. You have this angelic personality. And the only way that I can say this is that it's going to be hard for you to find a man who deserves your sensitivity and your gentleness in your current location. And I feel like you have a pure heart, and you will wait for this man, because you are so loving and sweet and kind, and this is very rare. So you're a rare gem, and it's really important for you to make sure that you're on the same page as this your boyfriend, and that you're communicating very clearly what you want, because he is I think he's a little more fun loving and just kind of going with the flow and not making plans as much as you would like. I feel like he is very interested in you, and that he really does care a lot about you. But I'm not sure that he understands exactly how much this is affecting you. Has this been really weighing heavily on you? You're feeling lonely?
Well, actually, this is a relationship going on for like 10 years. And we had a lot of people going in the middle of us with very, very nasty situations. Also, we would be together many times, and always someone getting in the middle for money interests, social interests, and economy interests, and stuff like that. So, how to say? I agree with you in a few points, but in the point that it doesn't understand how important it is for him to be here, more or less, because he knows what have been going on. I mean, problems and problems, like people getting in the middle, taking advantage of him, then taking advantage of me, then lies, and well, this is almost like a Mexican soap opera. And finally, at this moment, what I have to say to you in a concrete way is that more or less everything is more clean now, because we have discovered side by side what happened, really. And I keep asking him really to come, or otherwise I have to go. Maybe there is a problem in communications. I don't know. I'm not sure if he is receiving all my communications. That's a point.
Right. And, I really feel you have to put your foot down with him. He is... It needs to be a very clear message that you need this, fill in the blank. I need you to come here and be with me and find the job here and make it happen, or this will happen. I will have to end this as a relationship, because he doesn't see it as seriously, because it's been like this for so long. It's kind of been on again, off again. He kind of sees it like, well, if I don't really have to commit, then, and it's sort of like there's always going to be a reason or somebody coming in between you guys. And I'm glad you said that there were people coming in between you guys, because I'm always hesitant to bring that up, because I definitely felt that energy. And he could be committed to you and really be happy with you. I don't want to put him down at all, and I'm not trying to say anything against him, because that's really not where I'm going with this. I think it's just you guys have different personalities and different upbringings. And his idea of commitment is different than yours. You need a man who likes to be with you more of the time. And this guy, he really just needs you to say, look, this is what I need, or I'm going to move on.
Okay.
And I feel like he would come move next to you if you really laid down the law and you really showed him that you were serious about it.
Okay.
He needs boundaries. He needs some, he needs some real clear boundaries that you're just going to stop this if it doesn't get serious. So.
I understand. And you don't think this is going to scare him and then it's going to go away? No.
Well, I mean, it may scare him a little. That's the only thing that's really going to work with him if you want him to move out and to make a commitment. Otherwise, this is going to go on for another 10 years.
Oh, really? I don't want that.
He's just a free spirit. He doesn't worry too much about things and put too much emphasis on these things. He's a little bit immature that way emotionally. Compared to you. Yeah. You're more mature.
Yeah, that's true.
And
everybody says so.
Yeah, the reason why you're you know, you're saying these things to him and you want him to come your way is because you're more sensitive than he is. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that. No. So, yeah, okay. I hope that I have 30 seconds left, but you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay. Thank you so much, too. Bye-bye.
So that's an example of how we use the tarot. So I had this card here, and I saw her feeling a little bit isolated and a little bit lonely and very sensitive with the stars in her hair and this angelic vibe around her, and this guy not appreciating that about her. And I really, really wish you good luck, Isabella. I send you love and light, and wish you good luck with everything that you're going through over in Portugal. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I really appreciate my viewers. Please message me at Anna Olson Intuitive if you'd love to do a reading with me. I do medium readings. I do psychic readings, any area of your life, love, career, family. So, or any topic that you want. And everything is 100% confidential. You're safe with me.
Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. My name is Gail Moffat, and you can find me on Facebook, Gail Moffat, International British Medium and Teacher. You can also find me on gailmoffat.com, and also there's lots of stuff over the internet, so just start Googling. Anyway, I'm hoping we're going to have a lovely, lovely show today. And what I wanted to talk about, because obviously, as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm from England, and we're currently broadcasting from England at the moment, and I live in Brighton. But I am very aware that we have a lot of the United States citizens that are listening to this radio show, and we have a special day coming up in your calendar, which is Thanksgiving. And it's so I wanted to just sort of, acknowledge that you've got this special time. And whenever I speak to my American friends, they always talk about the holidays. We don't have Thanksgiving over in England, so we miss out. But we do have a lot of the churches, they have a harvest festival in September. But it's not quite the same. We don't celebrate it in the same way that you do, which is rather a shame. But there are a few things that have come across the pond that you might be interested to know about. And it's quite a big pond, isn't it? 3,500 miles approximately. Anyway, there is a few things. And one of the things, at the end of October, so it's not far behind us, we had the Halloween, and historically, it was always the American people that did the trick or treats, and now it's we have embraced that like you would not believe. And lots of British people love the trick or treats, and they dress up and they go around the houses and have an enormous amount of fun. So we have to thank you for that fun time that we have. And but that reminds me actually that when you look at Halloween. I know we're talking about a couple of weeks ago, but never mind. But when you look at Halloween, that is where the veil is allegedly, where the veil is at the thinnest, and where we can connect to the spirit world so much more easily. But I find that my connections to the spirit world is sort of fairly consistent throughout the year. I don't see that there is a difference at that time of year. So that's quite sort of an interesting observation from my point of view. Now, when I started the conversation about Thanksgiving and the holiday time, and I know that we have, when we talk about holiday times, the next big holiday is Christmas, and of course that's the birth of Jesus Christ. And he's somebody that works with me very strongly in my mediumship. But I know that I'm hoping that a lot of you, when you call in, and we're going to have some 2 lovely callers, you can talk to me about what you're going to do on Thanksgiving, and whether you're having turkey or cranberry sauce, or whether you're vegetarian. You might be vegetarian, not have any turkey. You might have fish or something like that, or a nut roast. That would be lovely. Anyway, I'm digressing, but so happy holidays, the beginning of the season for all of you that are listening in the United States. And so I'd like to let's go over to a caller and see what's happening in other parts of the world. So I would like to go to, I believe that we have Bernice in Los Angeles, California. Are you there, Bernice?
I am. How are you?
I'm very good. And so were you listening to my talk about Thanksgiving?
I was. I don't have any family I'm close to, so it would just be me and the dog sharing whatever we have in the refrigerator. I'm not big on cooking.
Oh, the dogs are lovely, aren't they? I love dogs. That's nice that you've got some dogs.
Yeah, and it's so anyway, nice that I live near stables. So I'll go feed cows, we'll feed horses some carrots, and they'll be happy.
Oh, how fantastic. So lots of animals around you. That's really nice. And I think, don't you think that sort of animals are so giving in so many ways, more so than perhaps sometimes humans are?
More so than humans. They're just completely without, they either like you or they don't, they love you or they don't, there's no second chance.
That's true. So anyway, how can I help you? Now, I am a medium, which means that I'm able to connect to loved ones in the spirit world, but I'm also a psychic, which means I can look at aspects of your life. Is there somewhere where you'd like me to focus?
Yes, ma'am. To put it politely, my life has just been going downhill to the point I have to look up to see down. And there are some situations surrounding me that would give me a chance to leave California, a job in specific, and I'm wondering if you could tune into that and see if, what's going on? What do I need to do? Say, remove blockages, help.
Right. So there's did you say that the sound is slightly sort of off, but so for what I can gather, what you're asking is you've had sort of a difficult time of it where you are now, and you potentially could have an opportunity to move away from California, and you'd like to look at that.
Yes.
And was there anything else amongst that you wanted me to focus on?
Well, finances, because it's all tied. The move from California would be for a job with a long-term contract, which would put me in a lower cost of living. California is very expensive.
Yes, yeah, it is. And you live in Los Angeles, where all the traffic is.
Yes, but thankfully not when it's burning. I am surrounded by it, but I am not burning.
Good. Right, so let me just link in. So the first thing that I sense about you is, do you like being in the sun?
Not really. I'm one of those people, if I'm out in the sun too long, I begin to represent a lobster.
Right, okay. Because I'm just getting the sense of because I'm being shown, for some reason, Spirit was showing me you out in the sun. And it must be sort of when you're out and about, and I feel like I'm being drawn to the horses as well when I'm looking at that. Now, I'm just seeing who's going to step forward. What I'm sort of concerned with you is that you have, although that you are looking at potentially sort of a job elsewhere, I feel that you have some reservations about this, because I feel like there's a little bit of fear. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yes, it's a big move, moving 2 states away, because California is so large, going up.
Yeah, and I just get this feeling that you whilst you've got all your problems, I feel like there's a sense of feeling settled in California. And I get the sense with you that I get the sense with you that it would almost be more difficult than you're probably thinking it possibly could be, because I get the feeling with this job, I feel that it would. Have you actually been offered this job, or are you sort of hoping to seek one out?
Well, I've had the first interview, so I'm waiting to hear on the second interview, which would make the decision of yes or no.
Right. Yes, because I didn't feel you'd been offered the job. That was the thing that I got. But I just get this feeling that although there is a sort of a hope, because it can sort of get you out of a situation. I feel that if you were to be offered this job, and I feel that you potentially will be, but I get this feeling with this job that it won't. There's something about it that won't sit comfortably with you, and I'm not sure what it is. It's almost as though you when you get offered the job, you'll end up having huge reservations about this, and you'll start to sort of question whether this is actually the job for you. And I feel that, but I feel like it's almost like it started the ball rolling with you, and started this idea of expanding out to gain your life back. And I feel that it may well be that you'll be looking for other jobs that won't be as, there's something about this job that you won't like. And I feel that it's not that they won't like you, because I feel they will, but I feel like you won't like it. There's something about it. And I feel that, and I'm not sure whether you're aware of it right now, but I just get this feeling that you're this sort of sinking feeling when I didn't realize that, or but I feel that sometimes things are stepping stones in life, and I get this feeling with you that you will be taking, this will be like a step, this whole idea of looking for another job and looking outside of things is taking you to new ideas and looking at new aspects of or possibilities outside of where you are now, because I feel that it's like it's got the ball rolling with you exploring new ideas. And I do feel that you will actually eventually find a position that is actually closer to where you live. And I actually get the feeling that there won't be potential. I feel that you won't actually, you've got a big decision to make, because I feel that this job, there's a question mark with this. And it's a question mark as to whether you actually move forward with it. However, I do feel that you will be looking at another position, and you will have, it's like you've got choices that will be open to you. But this other position will be closer to where you live. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Not at the moment, because this is the only choice out there right now, which is not to say, as you point out, tomorrow's another day and who knows what's going to be out there. It's just that this choice of Oregon, which is where it is in Oregon, is if I were to build a job just with the unknowns, just, name, rank, serial number, company, project, I couldn't build it any better. So anything else that would come up would have to at least equal that. whether it's here in California or whether it's in another state or another city.
Yeah. I just get this feeling that when they come back to you, it won't be what you're initially feeling it is. That's the feeling I get. But then you still have that choice. You have that free will to take on board what they're offering to you. But I've got a feeling it won't be all what you think it is. And so, and that's where I feel this question mark around it. But I just I do get. Sorry?
I was going to say, because I haven't had the offer of the second interview yet, we haven't gotten into the gory details of, money and travel and all of that. All I know is the broad stroke.
Yeah. Well, I hope that helps, because I've got another caller waiting. So, but I do feel that you will end up having reservations about this position.
But you do think there will be an offer, because people also want what they can't have.
I'm not sure whether there's going to be an offer, but I've got this feeling that you will not take a position there.
Right. As long as there's something better down the path, that's all that matters. Thank you.
But just before you go, what it is it's creating that snowball and that idea of looking elsewhere.
All right. I will always talk to people, and that's probably true, giving me the confidence to go forth to start looking.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what's being needed with you. This is a big step for you, and it's what's needed to get the ball rolling and restart your life.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you. That's good thought.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Right, hello. So I believe I have another caller waiting. Trudy in Pearland, Texas. Hello, Trudy. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh, what a sweet voice you've got. And what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
We are going to just hang out with family and have a nice, quiet dinner, hopefully.
Oh, that sounds lovely. And do you have turkey or?
We're actually going to have both, turkey and ham. And,
nice.
And I'm doing all the sides, so.
Oh, so you're going to be busy.
A little bit.
Okay.
It's all coming from Honey Bake, so.
Oh, good. Well, I don't know what honey bake is, but it sounds delicious.
Yeah, anyway, it's a hand company, so.
Right, okay. Now, I'm a medium, so I can connect to loved ones, or I can look at aspects of your life. Is there anywhere that you'd like me to focus?
Yes, I have just had a lot of challenges this year, health-wise and financial-wise, and I'm just kind of wondering what 2019 looks like.
Right.
Is that too broad?
No, that's fine. I'm just sort of connecting in. I can feel that my guide Sebastian is stepping forward, and he's my healing guide, and I feel that he would like to talk. But I've also got a couple of my other guides that have sort of they're drawing closer to me. Now, have you had any situation with your joints?
Yes.
Because Sebastian's drawing my attention to your joints, and he's asking me to put you on my healing list. I send out healing every day, so he's asking me to do that for you.
I would love that.
Okay, well, I will certainly, Trudy, and I will do that for you, because he says that he says that's the joints is a big issue for you, and there's a lot of pain and discomfort. That's what he says. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So we'll
even
see
my
how that
hair
comes
hurts.
Right. Oh dear. And also, he says that you've contacted certain professionals in the medical world, and you feel as though some of the advice hasn't been up to the standard that you would have liked. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, perfect sense. I have, and I'm finding more holistic things helping me more than the medications that they're giving me.
Yes, you're not happy with the advice that's being given, and no. I'm going to get that feeling that you're sort of taking sort of, alternative ideas on board, and I know that and Sebastian is saying that you're very clever. You think things through very, very thoroughly, and look into great detail as to what sort of supplements you're taking or what you're doing, and you've created quite an understanding around your health. Which that makes sense to you?
It's getting there, but yeah, he's right. I'm researching everything that I can do to get off insulin, off.
He says he's telling me that you've been very thorough, and he's quite impressed with how thorough you've been.
Well, tell him thank you.
He's saying that he will definitely look at some absent healing for you, and with regards to all your health issues. Just before I move on from health, I believe you have been in contact with a lady that's more holistic that you've been quite impressed with, and she's been treating you quite well. And
yes.
Sebastian is saying to me that she is well regarded in the spirit world for her knowledge and her expertise with health.
Excellent. Her name is Ziana, and she's a holistic healer. She's also she speaks with the angels, so she's been tremendous in helping me. Well,
that's why she's respected in the spirit world, isn't it? Because of her connections, her angelic connections, and the angels are great healers as well. But